Trojan family, Trojan gang, and this loss stang, man. Man, this loss. I know everybody got the perspective of our O-line trash, and our O-line is trash. Man, I'm gonna run down the things that went wrong in this game, man. It's a couple things that went wrong, and in the close loss like this, there's always one or two plays that can decide the game for you. I'm not going to get into the penalties, the non-penalties call. I'm not going to get into that because truthfully, Trojan fans, if this team is good, is what I want them to be. And I want to be a better team than Michigan. Michigan is a good team, but they have no quarterback. They have no chance of winning the championship. So the fact that we can't beat a team that has no chance of winning the championship really disheartened me. Right, really disheartened me. So I don't want to hear about no penalties and blah, blah, blah. We should have blew them out the water, right? We should have blew them out the water if we the team that we want them to be, or if they're the team we thought. This ain't the team we necessarily thought right now. Yeah, at least. So I'm going to get into it. Look, the O-line just wasn't ready. Just wasn't ready, bro. 77 to 72 was getting that dog worked on them. They was getting worked, right? So when your O-line is getting worked like that, you ain't gonna be able to produce a consistent offense. That's why they went 3 and out the first 3 possessions. That was really the game right there. I know it's like the beginning, but that was really the game, right? You lose by 3 points in your first 3 possessions. You go 3 and out. You should at least be able to average 3 or 4 points per possession at least. So for you to have 3 possessions and get 0, that's the beginning of the reason at least why you lost the game, right? You could lose the game in the first half, right? They spotted them 11 points that they wasn't able to overcome. They overcame, but Michigan had an answer, right? So when your offensive line is bleeding like that, you're not going to have a consistent offense. It's going to be up and down. You're going to have moments of mediocrity, and you're going to have moments of looking good. And then the other moments, you're going to be getting stuff. You're going to be getting sacks and tackles for loss, right? Miller Moss threw the ball 51 times. We got to have more balance than that. We got to have more balance than that. We just do, because especially with a struggling offensive line, you want to be more balanced. Because if they're a struggling offensive line and you pass, guess what they finna struggle with? Pass protection. Now your quarterback getting sacked. You can't complete no passes because he under duress. And Miller's not Caleb, so he's a pocket quarterback. So this is even magnified. See, Trojan fans, we ain't really felt the full effect on our offense when it comes to a poor offensive line, how that affects the team. We had Caleb Williams. So when the protection went down, right, he had the ability to make a routine scramble play. That was Caleb, routine play. Caleb saw pressure. It didn't matter. So many pressures that the other team defensive lineman got on USC the last couple years didn't matter because of Caleb, right? Well, this is about to matter, right? Our line not being great, it's going to matter 10 times more than with Miller Moss. It's going to be the difference. Like, okay, our offensive line struggled with Caleb, but we still was able to put up 40. If our offensive line struggled the same way it did with Caleb against the elite teams, we're not putting up 40. Right? We are not putting up 40 with Miller Moss with a struggling offensive line. He need a clean pocket. Now, Miller Moss got a clean pocket. He gonna deal with the pill. But when you don't got a clean pocket and you making him throw the ball 51 times, he getting beat up, right? The offense gonna be inconsistent. Should have ran the ball more. And I've been saying that this whole season, that this team should be a more balanced team. Should be more balanced, run and pass than in previous years. And with this offensive line struggling like this, you would think that'd be the case. But Lincoln Riley is the pass run guy, right? He's not a run pass. He a pass guy, right? He only run the ball. Lincoln Riley only run the ball to open up his pass game to throw you off, right? So I felt like that had to change coming into this season, right? That has to change. But with a struggling offensive line, Lincoln Riley felt like, okay, the offensive line is struggling, so I might as well just call pass plays, get it out quick, get some yards. The last thing Lincoln Riley be wanting to see is a run play for no yards, right? He rather have a pass play, getting his quarterback destroyed under pressure, right, than a run play for no yards. So he like, if the O-line gonna suck, they gonna suck at pass blocks. And like he's not willing to have a balanced offense. I mean, he just not. And I feel like this game, particularly this game, was a time to have a running offense. I mean, even against Utah State, when we could run over Utah State like we did that game, right? He still was wanting to pass. He still was fortunate to pass. If y'all go check my live out of the Utah game, when I was doing play-by-play, we was talking about it. We was talking like, man, why don't Lincoln Riley just run the ball? He trying to pass down there by the goal line, right? That's when you know when you got a pass-happy play caller. When you can run the ball downfield, your running backs could be getting 10 yards of carry, and then you get in the red zone and try to get pretty and try to call some passes, right? So that's the weakness in Lincoln Riley play calling. Is he too pass heavy? It's like the run is too boring with him. So I give his play calling a C-. I know it looked like a F, but that's partially because the offensive line was struggling so bad. So a terrible offensive line gonna always make your play caller look suspect, right? You can call a pass play, ain't getting no protection, and all your pass plays not working. So people be like, oh, your play caller look bad. Run plays getting stuff. Oh, your play caller, why you doing this? See, when the offensive line ain't working, nothing working. The offensive line is the legs of the offense. The offense is a complete body, and the offensive line is the legs. If the legs ain't working, then guess what? The offensive line can't go nowhere. I mean, the offense can't go nowhere. So all of your plays gonna look ineffective, right? That's the reason when USC was up. No, this ain't the reason, but look, because the offense was inconsistent and the O-line was suspect, that's why probably, like I said, Lincoln Riley, he's the pass-heavy guy. When he don't know when the time tough, he want to call one of his pass plays, right? So maybe when it was 4 minutes left to go and USC had the ball up 24-20, Lincoln Riley was passing the ball around the field, stopping the clock. Right? It could have been a situation where Michigan didn't have enough time because they couldn't even throw the ball. Right? If Lincoln Riley manages to cock, the time run out on Michigan. Lincoln Riley is, at this point, he's consistently bad at clock management. Consistently. I ain't never seen a tight game when even the games we win, I ain't never seen a tight game where he managed the clock right. Right? So this offensive line gonna be like this. This offense is gonna be mid at best when it comes to playing good defense, right? Because Miller Moss, he's not good enough to overcome this offensive line. He not Caleb, right? If we had Caleb in this game, all them pressures would have been like routine plays, for escape plays for Caleb, making plays downfield. We probably would have killed Michigan. That's why mobile quarterbacks are so valuable now. Like, that's why you see, like, you has to have them. Like, you got to have a mobile quarterback for things like this. Like, ain't nothing better than a mobile quarterback because it alleviates your offensive line problem, at least in the pass game, right? Miller's a traditional quarterback. If Miller don't have a clean pocket, this is going to be an up and down season for USC offense. So the script out on the offense, right? The script out. Attack their offensive line. 72 and 77 could be weaknesses, right? Right? Feet ain't looking quick enough. Hips ain't fluid enough at this point. to go against elite speed and agility. on the defensive line, right? They just not ready for that. The defense played respectable, right? Gave Lincoln Riley plenty of chances to extend the lead or cut it. But it ain't the defense fault. It's clearly the offense fault why they lost the game. But I'm going to keep it real. The defense gets some blame too. Even though, don't kill me, the defense played good enough to win, right? And they should have won. If the offense did their job, they would have won comfortably, right? But the constant chipping away at our run defense eventually broke our defense to the point where every now and then, every 10 to 15 runs, they'll break a big play, right? And that's going to happen when you playing chess in the run game, right? And that's the knock I had on our defense. We playing chess in the run game, and we was losing. And you say, what you mean chess? I feel like USC, we should have had 8 dudes in the box. We should have committed to stop the run. It seemed like we wanted to play an even defense. It seemed like we wanted to play a 60-40 type defense. Like 60% we attacking the run, 40% we thinking about the pass. Where it should have been 90% run, 10% pass. I would have consistently, especially after the first quarter, I would have consistently put 8 men in the box. But Deanton Lynn was acting like he was scared that Michigan was going to eventually pop a big pass play. It was like, even though Michigan weakness is passing, he feared giving them their weakness. So it was like, he know they can't pass, so he going to make sure they continue to can't pass, right? By not putting 8 in the box. See, 8 in the box give them a chance to pass and take away the run. But USC was playing it where we trying to be competitive in the run game and competitive in the pass game. So that made it to where Michigan could still run the ball. Because after the first quarter, you could see that Michigan is going to be able to run the ball against our front seven. Now, it was times we stopped them for a loss. It was a good competition, but it was a back and forth battle. So if it's a back and forth battle on the run game, then half they runs gonna be good, half they runs gonna be stuffed. Now, if they defense is stuffing our offense, right, which they was, that allowed Michigan to be more patient in the run game and keep chipping away with the run game so that eventually they could break some runs, right? If our offense was scored, we was going 3 and out, and we didn't have only 3 points in the first half, they couldn't keep chipping away at our defense to eventually break one. So when you only got a front seven and you going against their front seven, 5 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, 707, they gonna win some. And when they win some, right, it might be for a big game, 15, 20 yards, right? Keep running, keep chipping away, right? So the offense didn't help at all. The offense, you know how they say you're supposed to play complementary football with your offense, defense, and special teams? Well, we play reverse complementary, right? Our offense wasn't scoring, was going 3 and out, and our defense didn't force them to pass. So that was a deadly combination. Like, we was never gonna win that game out of 100 times under them situations where our offense is not doing nothing, at least in the first half, right? And our defense is not forcing them to pass. They can run. If we stop them on the run, okay. They didn't mind punting the ball on 4th down because their defense was punishing us. And we gonna punt the ball and get better field position and run until we finally break one. Not because our defense ain't good, but eventually a team is gonna break for some run plays if they can just run the ball down your throat. If they can just run. Don't gotta worry if you force them to punt because they defense gonna get in the ball right back. They're not playing into their game plan. They never got a pass. Why? We're not scoring. They're not behind. They got the lead. They basically led the whole game until we took the lead 24-20. They got up 7-0. They didn't have to pass no more basically after that. Right? Because they can run. Okay, USC, you stopping us? Punt the ball. We finna snuff y'all. Get the ball back. Run. Okay, you stop us. And eventually that run. They bust one. Because they playing into their strength. So that's what disappointed me with not even the defense, the Anton Lynn. That surprised me. I feel like the Anton Lynn was out coached. And it was a simple adjustment. We never stacked the box. Unless y'all seen something that I didn't see, unless y'all got the all 22. For the most of the game, all the running that Michigan did, I wasn't seeing 8 in the box. Right? Unless it was a blitz, maybe, right? But I wasn't seeing 8 in the box to stop the run. We were 7 in the box, and they was proving they could run against that. In the end, and that's why I say complimentary football. The Anton-Lynn supposed to notice, okay, our offense ain't doing nothing. Right? They punting the ball. So I can't keep my defense out here on this field play after play. He should have gambled. He should have been either you're finna score quick or you finna punt the ball. You're not going to have continuous drives of 7-8 run plays every fucking possession. Especially while my offense ain't doing nothing. I'm finna make you pass. Either you finna hit a big pass play or you punting. Either you finna hit a big pass play or you're punting. Why did we let them just run? Why we didn't commit to stop the run? Even if their run game was average, semi-successful, that works in the favor of them. Eating the clock away. Our offense sputter because we get whooped in the trenches. Right? So I can't blame it on the defense because the defense actually played well under the conditions, but the defense should have been under different conditions. The Anton-Lynn, and that's what confused me. That's what the Anton-Lynn is known for. Making the offense play through their weakness. So what the Anton-Lynn is known for, what we should have seen is Michigan being forced to pass the ball. Like, our run defense ain't what it was last year. It is better. It is better. So we could have got in a defensive formation and shut down that run. It ain't like we was incapable. It ain't like if we threw 8 in the box, they still was gonna run. Because a lot of they runs got stuff, but then they had big runs too. It wasn't like every single run they was gashing. So our defensive line could compete with their offensive line. Right? So I know if we throw 8 men in the box and crowd the box, they wouldn't been able to run, but we never did that. They ran the ball for 4 quarters. Right? And I know times in the second half, we only held them to 7 points in the second half, and the second half wasn't different, but it still was a combination of the game, the final drive. Run, touchdown run, right? 32 yards passing. You do not supposed to lose to a team and you only gave up 32-yard passing. That would insinuate either your offense will suck, like your offense did score 6 points, but it didn't score 24. So for you to score 24 points, which isn't a lot, but for you to score 24 points and the opposing quarterback only passed for 32 yards and you lose, I would think that the run defense was horrible, like the D is horrible. They must get ran all over. They was getting bullied in the trenches. But no, it was a numbers game. If we run, and never got to worry about passing because our defense is solid, right? And we could get first downs off the run, right? You would think that whoever you playing against is just a mismatch, but no, I'm watching the game and it ain't a mismatch. We was getting pushed. Some of the runs, they offensive line whooped us, and some of the runs we whooped them. Right? It was going back and forth. Even though they gave up 290, I mean, how many attempts they had? So our defensive line was going back and forth with theirs. I seen some safeties and middle linebackers miss a tackle. I seen Kamari Ramsey miss a tackle, and that play went for 30, 40 yards. Right? So the fact that your defensive line wasn't dog water and you only gave up 32 yards passing, That's coaching. And I know we love De'Anton Lynn. And I love him too. And I want him to stay. He already turned around his defense. Defense looking great. Defense looking spectacular. Right? But that's one adjustment he didn't make that he should have made. Now, De'Anton Lynn is a young coach. So hopefully we learn from this. Because we're going to face other Big Ten teams with mediocre quarterbacks like Wisconsin. Wisconsin, they got the blueprint. They quarterback out for the season, right? Wisconsin going to try to run. So if Wisconsin watch the Michigan game, they going to say, we going to run, and play field position. We going to run until we start wearing on that defensive line and break a big play. In the meantime, we going to play great defense, make them punt. They offensive line is suspect. If Wisconsin got confidence in their defensive line, they licking their chops for us. Okay, we see the blueprint. Run the ball 25, 30 times against USC. Especially if your D-line can mangle their offensive line. Any team that got a D-line that can mangle our offensive line, give our offensive line problems, they're going to run the ball down our throat. So I hopefully when this strategy pops off again, which it will, right? Which it will, I hope we put 8 men in the box and make these teams with quarterbacks who can't throw the ball. And I don't think we're going to face a weaker quarterback than Orgy when it comes to throwing the ball. Right? This was the best time to throw 8 in the box. We could have threw 8 in the box and been comfortable. Orgy wouldn't have made more plays in the pass game with 8 in the box than they run game made plays with 7 in the box. De'Anton Lynn chose wrong. It felt like, and I could watch the game. I played football before, and I've been watching it for so long. How De'Anton Lynn was calling the game, he still was respecting they pass. He was still respecting the opportunity, the probability of they might hit something up top. Is De'Anton Lynn not as confident in our corners as we need to be? Because I can sense it in the game. We playing a balanced D. We were playing a type of defense that you will play against a team who could run and pass, maybe a little bit stronger on the run, but that's both. But I seen a defense out there that was respected. They passing game, right? I see the defense out there that was respecting they passing, and they only threw for 30. We should have never respected they passing game. And even with our offense struggling, we win this game if we go 8 in the box. I feel like that should have been a game plan off top until Orgy shown he could throw. It should have been 8 men in the box off top every play. Every play. That's what it should have been. But it wasn't. Good news is the season ain't over. We still got everything in front of us, right? We still can make this a major successful season, right? We just got to keep winning. We can't lose. At the most, we could take one more loss at the most, and it only could be against Penn State. We can't even lose against Notre Dame because of the horrible loss they had. So we got to run the table except Penn State, and we still could do it. And the good thing is, our offensive line, it's a possibility it could get better. It's a possibility it could get better because it's young. 77 and 72, just sophomores, right? Development, these are young players. So players, like, it's been plenty of time for USC a team week 3, week 4, and they're a whole different team come week 10 and 11, right? So by the time the playoffs kick around or the conference, where's that part of the season when it's do or die, our offensive line can be elite, and that's the good news. They do have the potential, but we was getting whooped this game. Right now, today, they ain't ready for no NFL level type defensive lineman. They just not. Trust me. So it's all good, Trojan fans. Right? These are correctable mistakes. It ain't like we got no hope. See, last season we have no hope. De'Anton Lynn will make adjustments. De'Anton Lynn We'll learn from this mistake. Right? The offensive line, I feel like they is going to get better. Will they get good enough to be able to handle NFL competition? I don't know. But I know they going to get better. They have no choice but to get better. Right? So until then, it's your boy Carter Sports. It's Trojan City. It's USC.